I'll go on the other limb then. I'll say Fire Rod. And we are underway. We have Mclagging, the first to get Link out of bed. Killer App not very far behind. We will sync that up in a moment. Get to the chop. Just a big 20 in the first chest.
Some lunch money for our way to the castle here.
I hope they have some good lunch at the castle.
I like that Killer App is using one of my favorite custom sprites made for the randomizer, the can of sprite.
Yeah, the soda can is a beautiful sprite, one of my favorites as well. And there's the sword from the uncle. We knew that was there. Actually, no, we didn't. Wait a minute. They have a sword. This was randomized swords.
Yeah, I didn't catch the quotes around randomized, but apparently that's what this meant this time.
Yeah, this a vanilla sword, and the sword was not meant to be on the uncle, but the uncle had a sword. We should re-roll this, shouldn't we? Kidding, of course. I think it's about a 2% chance that the uncle can actually have the sword in this mode. So they got the beautiful 2% sword in the castle chance today, and they're getting the basic escape today. The reason that this is called standard mode, by the way, is because when you play the regular Link to the Past game, this is exactly how you play the game. You go through go through the castle to find the princess who is locked in her cell and take her to the sanctuary.
Oh good, they got up some bombs out of that chest. Don't need to farm for them.
That's going to save some time trying to find those bombs in the long run because obviously that backup escape, 3 items that they'll be very happy to pick up. Though with that said, they will need more bombs for other checks later, so hopefully they come upon some more bombs for those.
Yeah, it's just always good to get them as early as you can. Either, a chest is kind of nice. The 8 bomb drop from an enemy is always... Ooh, silvers! Is always a good thing, too. Just to get through those last 3 chests and escapes, you don't have that as a, missed location later. Because I have seen a few times somebody didn't get a bomb and, Power Glove is back there, and they don't come back until it's, literally the last area, because they think, oh, I checked that. I went past that. I checked it. So...
Yeah, it's a very easy location to forget. I've seen that missed. I've seen the uncle location in an open mode seed missed. It's very easy to miss those locations that you just normally check very quickly, but all of a sudden, all sorts of routes open up, and you think, well, I must have been there already. I couldn't have gotten here if I didn't do all this.
Yeah, muscle memory is a good thing, and it can also be a bad thing.
Just confirming that some other weapons that can show up on the uncle in this mode, if they did not get a sword today, they might have found a bow, they might have found a hammer, they might have found the fire rod. Not the ice rod because it freezes enemies, and you have to be able to kill the enemies. So fire rod you would have been able to find. 10 bombs can be found in the uncle, is its own item in the item pool. Cane of Burna could have been found, or the Cane of Samaria could have been found in the at the uncle location. So the runners are currently making their way back into the castle proper, heading down to, or rather up to the second floor of the castle, where they're going to make their way down to the basement.
Yeah, so far no more farming for bombs, so I think maybe they'll just, hold off and see what some of the earlier chests find. They have enough to, get a good amount once they go into Kakariko, and who knows what the tree pull might have once they get out to the, place with trees that they can pull on.
A tree pull with bombs can be very useful this early in the seed, so I'm sure they wouldn't mind getting a few more of those early on. And Mclagging is beeping for us. Beautiful beeping. Well, at least they have 1 rupee to spend on bombs. Mclagging is the first to grab his key on the basement floor of the castle. Gets his way back out of the dark into the main area. Now you notice that Mclagging did have a lamp and so did KillerApp there. The reasons I like to call it is because Zelda carries her lamp with her, but in reality the game is coded in standard mode to have a lamp in that area. It expects you're going to have a lamp because the vanilla game has a lamp for you. But you can't even get back there without a lamp. So in this case, once the princess goes back to the sanctuary and you go back there in the dark later, you will be literally in the dark. So any items in here, if not picked up on the first go, and if you don't get back in there and check, especially that item in the back of in the dark of escape, it could be a hindrance later on. And Mclagging comes out into the sanctuary. Map was in the castle. Some bombs are in the sanctuary.
That's okay. Nothing useful found yet, but we'll see what the next areas hold us. You know, they're probably going to head up Kakariko next, which is just a treasure trove of items.
Well, the bombs are useful enough for the time being. At least it's going to help them get all the items that they can get in the light world. I think that's going to take care of all the light world checks, actually. So we haven't seen a tree pull yet. Let's see if KillerApp does a tree pull. Nope, he's going to Lost Woods right behind Mclagging. Same routing here. Oh, there's the tree pull. We have hearts on the tree pull today. And a big 20 in the back of the Lost Woods. This is going to be a money scavenging seed, isn't it?
Unless, you know, something where it's stacked later, you know, oh, another sword.
Ooh.
It might be.
That's kind of funny. The Master Sword is just sitting in a hole in the middle of Lost Woods. You know, this early sword has me thinking that this could be an Agnum seed. Of course, it should be noted that we also need the lamp to show up for that to happen. We did get a map check. I didn't quite catch it, but I did see crystals up in Tower Hera and Eastern Palace, I believe. And we are heading to the back of Blind's hut right now. We're going to see what 4 chests are here and what item is in the hole in the wall that's being blown up by the runners right now. There is a heart container, the Bombos medallion, the mirror, and a big 20. And some wooden sticks in the back. Now, to explain that medallion, the Bombos medallion is one of 3 medallions that can be picked up in the game. The Ether and Quake medallions are the others. There are 2 dungeons at the end of the bottom row where all the dungeons are that show a blank circle. That represents one of those 3 medallions. Once we know what medallion opens what dungeon, it can be any of those 3, and it could be the same one for both dungeons. We will fill that in on the tracker, and that will help determine what kind of routing is needed for that today. While we find a heart container in the well.
Bombos itself can also be a little important depending on where the fire rod is, because it might be required that you use the Bombos medallion to clear out Ice Palace, because the fire rod is either in Ice Palace or locked behind something that is in Ice Palace.
That is correct. And the well did not have very much in it, but I believe the mirror is obviously a very good item to have for Dark World routing purposes. That will open up quite a few checks later. Hey, more bombs.
Oh, well. Yeah, the mirror was probably the most important thing found so far, but here we're going to bomb our way into the chicken hut.
And almost in sync grabbing the item here, we have, there's the $300. Now we're getting some money. No bottle yet, so we can't check the sick kid. We're going to go instead to the back of the tavern. Bypassing the kid for now. There's the flippers. The water toes are found. I'm starting to have fears an early swamp might be in order.
Well, at least, like, you know, this is all dungeons, so they have to go through it eventually. But maybe they'll find somewhere that has a hint tile first, and maybe we'll be really lucky and it'll say, oh, you don't need to go to western, or left side swamp, rather.
Yeah, those hint tiles can be very, very useful or just very, very pointless, depending on what they are. And I think we saw a big 20 up, big 20 up on the race game. Runners are not going to waste their time for that. KillerApp ducks back to grab a heart out of his pot in his house before he heads back out. Mclagging is heading down to the dam, and I think KillerApp is going straight to Eastern Palace area. So already a little bit of divergence here. This is very interesting. I personally like the Eastern Palace play because I usually try to the theory that something interesting will show up there, but in this case, Mclagging was correct. The power glove is in the dam today.
Yeah, very nice, and also showing off the block glitch you can do with the mirror there, and just only needing one trip through the dam area there. Alright, so looks like Palace of Darkness is going to be our green pendant today. We'll see if they'll actually go back and turn that in later.
We'll call that a bit of French vanilla, I guess. And whether they'll turn that in later will depend on what kind of progress they're in. If they're in go mode by the time they get the bow. If that's their go mode item, they probably will not turn in. But depending on what kind of stuff we have, they may be interested in what he has today. So Mclagging is a mini Moldorm cave. If you blinked and missed it, it's because there were those 4 mini Moldorms there. So Mclagging is going to open the chest there right now. We have a big 20, a big 50, 10 sticks, a piece of heart, and another piece of heart. Yeah, not really that worthwhile. Wait, KillerApp gets his power glove.
We're gonna avoid the crabs, yep, and trek on over to one of the more out-of-the-way locations, Ice Rod Cave, because usually like Ice Rod's in there, and also it's frozen. And then I'm feeling that after this, we're gonna go see Hobo and Zora area.
Very likely, because we do already have the flippers, and you notice Mclagging took a shortcut in the water that you normally can't take, because you very often know the flippers by the time you go over here. So let's see what is an Ice Rod Cave here. We have 10 more arrows. Because they have the mirror, the item on Lake Hela Island might be something they're going to want to take a look at here right now. Because as soon as they get to the Dark World, they can route that in. And that would be another item they should be able to pick up at some point later on. So we're going to probably get a look at that, but it looks like Mclagging is going to the Hobo first. KillerApp is checking the island and finds a big 20 on there, so we're not going to be picking that up.
Look at that can floating in the water.
Geez, I wonder who's littering. Who's destroying Hyrule by throwing cans in the water? That's just... Ooh, there's the lamp, and Aghanim is in play.
Yeah, it's something they'll have to do eventually, this being all dungeons seed. But you never know when he might be required early on, either for Dark World access or something being in his... Not really his cave, I guess, but the Lumberjack cave that
Lumberjack
gets opened
ledge.
up. Which neither one of the players checked yet, so...
And neither player has checked what's in there, and neither player has the boots to pick that up yet anyway, but that very well could come into play later. So we'll find out if maybe the boots are in Waterfall Cave, and that could cause some fear here. Nope, just a big 20 in a heart container.
Yeah, that stuff was red, though, so they're kind of close.
But yeah, an early boots would be a very probable cause for fear if everything is locked by the Lumberjack ledge. That could be very bad. There's the Quake Medai, meanwhile, on the Zora ledge.
Can we also call that French vanilla? Because usually Catfish holds that.
I'll accept that.
Alright, what's the big fish barf up for us today? Ah, just money.
I thought it was red. I got excited for a second there.
Yeah, you swing that sword and show him what for, Mclagging.
So a bit of a bad business deal from Zora today, scamming you with by trading a lovely batch of rupees for a small red collectible. I'm sure it's worth more though because it's it's a special red collectible of some form.
Yeah, covered in Zora spit.
Exactly.
Alright, so also, because, they got the gloves and a lamp, they can go up Dark Mountain the, traditional, I guess, way. Lift the rock and go through the cave that way and rescue the old man and see what's going on up there.
Yeah, there's still a lot of checks in play before Aghanim really gets considered by either of these runners. They're going to definitely, looks like Mclagging might be heading up Death Mountain right now, or nope, he's following KillerApp23 the Lumberjack Ledge. They've got so many Aghanim-friendly items right now, they want to rule that out, and I don't blame them for wanting to do that. So that is a bottle. They will not be going for that. Though it would be interesting if they can't find another bottle conveniently in the light world. If that bottle were needed for something on Sick Kid, that could be very, very interesting.
I like that. That sounds delicious.
I mean, who knows? Sick Kid could have Moon Pearl. Ranger Void is speaking of something that came to my mind about a year ago, talking about all the bottles being in GT except for that one. That would be an absolutely evil thing, and I think at one point the logic didn't consider that, thinking you need a bottle elsewhere, but I think now the logic would consider that. I may be mistaken, if it would take someone who knows the coding to confirm that or deny that. And we're going to see what's on the Spectral Rock, just a piece of heart. Both runners are heading straight into Spectral Rock. They're not doing the preview trick because there is a clue back there. So whatever it is, they're going to pick it up just to see what the clue is. That is the Moon Pearl.
And no help.
Yeah, that's a useful bit of help, saying that you expected help.
So KillerApp just went for the normal fall down. Mclagging did a bomb jump to stay up at this area here.
Yeah, that saves Mclagging some time. Very nicely done.
Because we're here. We got Moon Pearl, we got Mirror. Let's just do Tower of Hera.
And Mclagging will take the piece of heart. We'll see if KillerApp stops to pick that up. I know there are still already on 7 hearts. They're already very healthy for this seed. This is a normal difficulty seed, so there's no difference in the hearts. You're still going to have the full 20 hearts available. So they're already at 7 hearts, very healthy already. We are getting our look at Tower of Hera. Now keep in mind the bosses are shuffled as we find the big key in the first location in the basement. He is going to open the chest at the back. Also check the hint, some caches in Mimic Cave. So we're not going to go to Mimic Cave today. There's the Titan's Mitt.
Shiny!
That's going to open up a lot of Dark Death Mountain access, especially now that we have the Moon Pearl. The only thing is we still need the hammer or the hook shot to get to the other side of Death Mountain so that we can actually get all of those checks in. And then there's still some other items that we would need specific items for to check as well, elsewhere on Death Mountain.
And that also, we don't need to do Aghanim for Dark World access, because we can just, go to the lifty thing and... The rock you can lift in Kakariko and go in that way for that one side.
We also just got the most useful hint. Some arrows is in Paradox Cave. Since there are 7 chests in Paradox Cave, thanks, game!
Alright, who's upstairs today?
Oh, is that a Moldorm? No,
Nope,
it
it's
was
a moth.
Mothula. It was a bug.
I like the floating spikes, just trying their best over on the edge there.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get hit by those, but interestingly, you could probably get bopped into them and actually stay on the ledge because of them. Of course, I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but it'd be interesting if that does happen. Mclagging and KillerApp both have acquired not only the map, which means there's probably something in the basement, but also their first crystals. And let's see if they go back to see what's in there. Yeah, it looks like they might not be. Maybe I was not item counting and didn't see a compass, which could be what's in the basement.
Yeah, they got the mitts, and then...
Oh, there was a heart.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all good.
Yep, we're all good. No basement today, no coffee. Okay, we're getting our first look at the Dark World now. Mclagging does go to the Dark World. KillerApp is not far behind. They're pretty much following, with the exception of that brief diversion that they then met up in after covering each other's tracks. They've basically been covering the same route so far.
Pretty much so far, although here, KillerApp's heading into the Skullwoods area, while Mclagging is sticking to the Village Outcasts checks.
And we'll see which checks pay off sooner. I have a feeling both will be doing these checks while they're around here. Mclagging is getting 10 arrows from the chest there. I like the idea of putting off Skullwoods only because we don't have the book yet, and at least being able to do Thieves Town and then Skullwoods area, especially if we can do Mothula at that point, means that we can make sure that there's nothing on the pedestal. Mind you, being an all dungeon seed, that's not as big a deal as it is in a normal seed, but it may be worth knowing if you need to go back to get something later. There's the 10 bomb drop, by the way. That's the only 10 bomb item that you'll find in the item pool.
Because that's the weapon, quote-unquote weapon, that Uncle can give you.
Correct. And Mclagging is going digging. Finds some magic, which he's full of, so he doesn't need that. Lots of magic, not much money out of this digging game. And a big 20. He's going to keep digging and look for more money to make sure he can get into the Palace of Darkness. And he's covered, so he's done.
Smart thinking there. I wouldn't have thought about that. Oh, no, Mclagging's gonna pick up a friend.
Ooh. We have the Ether Medallion. All 3 medallions are in play. It doesn't matter what Misery Mire and Turtle Rock now. They can all be open. They can both be open now. And taking the dwarf home today gets you a bug net. So at least we can catch some bugs, or maybe something much more helpful.
Yeah, I'd call that a net gain.
But
So Mclagging's going to be going back around the south area here, probably checking Old Stumpy and the cave south of the grove before returning the chest to the thief dude in the forest, wow, desert area. And KillerApp is checking the north side of the Dark World here. What's in the graveyard ledge today? Oh, just a piece of heart. Gonna
We'll take it, though. Mclagging, I don't believe, picked up the admin K45 and is heading up to Stumpy right now. Leaves the chest there so he doesn't forget it on the way out. Some bombs from Stumpy. Ooh, he almost got pushed into the next screen after leaving the chest behind. Actually, he did leave the chest behind.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was still... I guess it is still possible for it to be there. The chest mechanics are a little different, but I know if you change worlds, it does go away. So he's going to go into Hype Cave right now, though. What is in Hype Cave today? As we talk to the thief at the front, we get a piece of heart, and in the back we have a single rupee, a new shirt, big 20, and a full heart container. Karaoke, rate this Hype Cave.
This is normal mode, so like a 2?
Yeah, that was meh. I'll give 3 for the blue mail.
If this maybe was like hard mode, then I'd say, yeah, that's pretty good, because that helps, but this is a little bit less difficult than that. So, I mean, it's nice, but they have a lot of hearts already, and they're very skilled players, of course. So I don't think it's as necessary.
And Gary gives a small piece of heart. Lots of heart pieces today.
Meanwhile, KillerApp snuck into Thieves Town.
I think this is our first look in there as he gets the key for the basement from the first chest. So we don't have the hammer yet, so we can't open that chest yet, but he does have that key. And there's the tempered sword, so we have the bacon blade.
Now we're cooking.
Now, by the game logic, that's the furthest sword that you need to be able to successfully defeat Ganon by the logic. However, it is possible to defeat Ganon with the Master Sword, and even without silver arrows and just the Master Sword. The logic will require both Tempered Sword and silver arrows to be available by the time you go to Ganon. And there's the ice rod, I think that was.
Oh, darn. Well, maybe your dream will still come true.
Maybe.
We'll have to see if KillerApp or even Mclagging, now that Mclagging has also joined in the same dungeon here, if they're just going to go straight to the boss, or if they're going to dig stuff out for the rest of the dungeon first.
They pretty much have to dig because that's the blind... Oh, actually, no, they can because they don't have to. I stand corrected. I forgot this was a boss shuffle. So Vitreous is in Blind's room today. You don't have to get the maiden. So you just go walk right in and you just start the fight.
Yeah, but without a hook shot, they really can't do much to him, so gonna have to...
Yeah, they're kind of hard.
You can't eat popcorn if you can't pick it off, so gonna have to save that for later, and, you know, I guess save maybe the rest of the dungeon for later, too, it seems.
Probably not a bad play, but this could be a bad... But at the same time, this could be a bad play itself if there's something to dig in this dungeon. We'll see if Mclagging decides to go digging. KillerApp having much more financial luck in the digging game. I already found 3 big 20s, picked up 2 of them. There's the actual one.
Yeah, and he's got enough money for, you know, for days. And then Mclagging is gonna dive farther into the dungeon.
I don't think KillerApp has checked Zora yet, has he?
He had to, because he got the Quake medallion.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, they did both. He just seems to have found a lot more money in the interim than Mclagging did, so... Ooh, something sharp is on your uncle. Thanks, game!
Because KillerApp, I think, got 3 hundo out of the back of Shashrala's closet.
Ah, yes, he did check Sahasrara and Mclagging did not. That would make sense. And KillerApp gets his net gain from the dwarf. And that's the compass in the sunshine room, which we're not going to worry about bombing today because we don't need to. Even if Blind is in his default room, you don't have to hit the maiden, he just appears. And KillerApp's had enough of heart pieces. Has been picking them up, but decided that one's not worth his time.
So no hammer. No hammer means we can't check the big chest in Thieves Town. I haven't really been counting items, so I don't know how much is left in here.
I was just going to say, it would be interesting if the hookshot was down here, but nope, that was just a map. So both dungeon items have been found. We did find the key in the front. The other 2 items are unique items in the item pool. Not necessarily unique items per se, but just actual collectible items. And Mclagging's about to get his bad news about who the boss is. And save and quit. Or mirror. So that dig unfortunately didn't work to Mclagging's benefit. That will help him if it turns out there is something in the big chest. That has to be checked later once they have the hammer, because KillerApp will end up digging those other 2 chests before he gets to the big chest.
And now it's Mclagging's turn to pop over into Skullwood's area, and KillerApp's turn to head over to the, you know, I'm trying to think of a clothing store that's like called something, you know, closet or something, but I can't think of one.
Thieves Closet?
Sure, that works.
Okay.
The cave closet. Something like that. And now we're Pepsi.
This beverage change brought to you by Thirst. Hashtag not sponsored. What is KillerApp doing right now?
Swimming.
It looks like he might be stopping for some kind of an upgrade. I'm not sure what else he could be doing here. Oh, he's heading using this route to get to Palace of Darkness. Interesting.
Yep, it's...
we don't have the bow, so he... No bow yet, so he can't complete it yet, but he does at least want to check it out.
Yeah, you know, see if it's early, early on bow lock. No bottle, so we can't even potion glitch our way through if it's bow locked, unfortunately. But yeah, it's one of those lesser known routes to get over to this area when you got, flip flops.
Mclagging picks up his Quake medallion. Sorry, that's his Ether medallion, I meant to say. KillerApp gets $10 picked out of his can. There's our Dark World map check. I see pendants on... I noticed it too late, but I noticed pendants on what's it called? Misery Mire and Swamp Palace. I saw Crystal over at Ice Palace, but I caught it too late. I didn't catch the rest of it, so hopefully our tracker got that.
Yeah, it looks like, I think it's, what's the one in there? There's Thieves Town and Misery Mire, and of course we already knew Palace of Darkness had a pendant.
Of course. And it was the 7 it was the 5-6 crystal I was looking to find out. It was Turtle Rock, and obviously everything else is a regular crystal. We did not name.
But we have to do them all, so. And KillerApp here is doing the fancy, you know, mirroring between Pod and Eastern, just in case they find the bow or something, or, you know, bow and hammer and stuff like that that you can just pop right back over and clear stuff.
I have no problem
quickly.
with that method at all. That's a really good method to use. There's that book. So the book is now going to open up Desert Palace, which they still can't get to because they don't have the flute yet. That would be the backdoor method that works with the mirror. So they're going to have to rely on the book if they want to go to Desert Palace right now. So that opens that up.
Yeah, and with the lamp that they also have, it's possibly completable, depending on what boss is back there, but they can at least go to the boss and check it out.
That may be worth the stop since we can at least get back there. And he does get the compass out of the second chest. Boring.
And Mclagging's doing another one of those far-off checks of Mr. Catfish. What's shaking with him?
Catfish always swallows something important. The question is if it will be something like the fire rod, which I want to be well hidden today. Nope, just some bombs. The Cane of Burna is in the dark. Thanks, game?
Yeah, we found Boots.
Yeah, he's going pretty fast now. Now with the flippers, we do have full Dark World access. The only potential, for those of you who are fans of seeing Aghanim done early in all dungeons, the only potential thing that could still make this a possibility is if the Pyramid Fairy has the hammer. I think other than that, Aghanim will not be required today. And I'm being told in chat that I am mistaken. It is a 5-6 crystal on Turtle Rock. That is correct. Aghanim is not required today.
So Aghanim can, you know, breathe easy for now that he gets to live, you know, slightly longer until the very end. Maybe we'll even get to see the whole, you know, Aghanim 2 before Aghanim 1 type of thing that is possible to be done and quite often done in these types of, what do you call it?
KillerApp forgot there were some Igors back there, and he must have just decided... Oh, actually, he remembered there were no other items back there, so he decided to leave and come back later with no bow. Let's see if Mclagging goes in the Palace of Darkness after getting his pockets picked, or if he warps to, as well. He's trying to warp to Sahasra. Oh, that was very nicely done. Very nice placement for that warp. And we have our bottle in the King's Tomb.
Yeah, so KillerApp didn't do the whole checking pod thing. I want to think, you know, is there more locations to check with Boots than possibly be in pod? I don't know, but we're checking.
He's heading to Bonk Rocks. Yeah, he's heading to Bonk Rocks right now. We're gonna see what's in there. Mclagging getting his pockets picked. And Bonk Rocks today has $5.
Did get a bottle from King's Tomb, so probably gonna run over to Sick Kid and give him his medicine.
Yeah, Sick Kid is definitely in play now, and yes, there was a bottle on the ledge that could have, in some weird dimension, been a required bottle, but in this case, we have another one now, so definitely do not need that bottle now.
Or not. And I guess pod was checked early, so or the opening part of pod, the first chest was checked, so it was bow locked.
Ah, it's not a key, so they can't move. Yeah. So the keys are behind the bow lock section. That's unfortunate. At least Palace of Darkness is a huge dip later. Mclagging doing the Eastern Palace checks right now will get his brand new footwear.
Yeah, using the mirror here, I guess, to check sick kid is handy. Just his love. Thanks for bringing that drink.
I don't know if they should take that hard. He's sick or might get something from that. Did either runner check the library? Was there anything in the library today?
It was like a heart container or something like that. It wasn't anything necessary.
Yeah, so they won't be doing that either. Okay. So KillerApp's next play appears to be heading towards the desert area. Is mirroring to check the tablet. Good play. This can be easy to miss after doing the Gary trip, which both runners, I think both runners have already done it.
Yes, they have.
And praying to the gods and scorching a bat gets $20. And now getting the Agony check-in. Probably gonna check the pyramid ledge first. 20 rupees on the pyramid ledge, and not checking Agena. Interesting. Just heading straight into Desert Palace. Mclagging gets his boots.
And since we do have boots, Desert Palace is 100% totally completable, even if something is on that pesky torch in the side room there.
Correct. Makes it a very good play right now. So KillerApp is going to, pending what the boss is, clear out Desert Palace completely now. And there's just a small key there, so it just locks a couple items today. A piece of heart is in Skullwoods. We are... let me think. I don't think it was in either of those other locations. If I'm right on that, that would be the pedestal.
Nice mirror shortcut there to not have to walk all the way over to the left side.
Is Mclagging making them play on Swamp Palace? No, he just decided to save and quit. Must have been a mistake.
I think he was trying to head over to that portal there, possibly going that way, and then realized, oh, I don't have hammer. Oops.
But keep in mind the hammer can be in the first item chest in Swamp Palace. I have seen it in that location before, so given that they had very early access to Swamp, I actually like the play of checking Swamp Palace myself. Mclagging gets his bottle, he'll probably get the heart from Sick Kid very soon.
And KillerApp is heading into the back half of Desert. A little bit of a weird item menu layout thing there, trying to get to the lamp. Took a few button presses.
Menuing is just as important as anything else in this game. If you can menu well, you're going to be able to save some time. Okay, we're up on the way to the boss right now. We're going to find out momentarily who is in Landmolus's room today. You just have to wait for a cutscene. And KillerApp gets the door revealed, opens the door, and goes in and finds.
Yay! It's
Ooh, boy!
the Trinex! Yay!
A very sandy colored Trinex. I don't know how you're gonna freeze that floor. And being noted in chat, and I noticed this when he went into Desert Palace, KillerApp did not check Agina. So Agina could be something that makes a difference here. If Mclagging checks it, there's something of interest there.
Yeah, KillerApp having to head back over there now.
Yep, and now he's going back to get it. Yep. Pulling on the torch out of disgust. And he finds there's the bow. Good thing he went back. Very good thing he went back. And Mclagging will probably pick that up right away, and they're both going to probably head right over to the Eastern Palace area to try to finish that off. Mclagging bonks doing the mirror check here, or trying to mirror back to the light world here. So he's going to now head over to Agina. Probably have to check the desert ledge.
Check on the ledge, and then doing the same thing that KillerApp did and just popping desert open right away.
Hopefully he doesn't forget about Agina.
Yeah, probably going for the whole item density play over a one-off location, even though it's, you know, right there. So hopefully remembers, if once he gets to the Trinex in the back, not to save and quit and can just, you know, mirror out instead and save those few extra seconds that KillerApp had to spend running back over to the desert area.
That mirror is very useful in Randomizer just for that reason. You don't know who the boss is. You might have to get out of a room that you can't fight the boss because you don't have what you need to fight it. So that can be very handy in Randomizer. KillerApp is going to find his explosives from the fish of cats. Doesn't even grace it with a pickup. Mclagging is going to open the big chest now, then he's going to head back to meet a boss he cannot defeat in Trinex. KillerApp is getting a pyramid check in. This is a good play.
Yeah, gonna be disappointed to see just 20 groups over there, so.
Nonetheless, good to get out of the way. Make sure that it's not the thing that you forgot about. That's a very out of the way location, given the way that they don't have access to Pyramid Ferry at the same time. So that's very out of the way, and it's something you don't have to worry about later. So that's good to get out of the way. Heading back to Eastern Palace, it looks like both runs have already opened Eastern Palace. The monkeys already opened the door. They can just head straight in whenever they want to, and that's what KillerApp's about to do.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes to delve further into Pod first, or if he mirrors out and decides to clear the back of Eastern and check what boss is back there first. So
Palace of Darkness easily Palace of Darkness because all the items are in there.
Yeah, maybe you'll find your fire rod in here, and there's a Trinex in Eastern or something.
Maybe.
I just want
Mclagging.
Trinexes. I just want to pick them all up and hug them.
That'd be a very painful hug. As Mclagging mirrors out of Desert Palace and goes straight over to Genie, he will get his bow.
Yeah, saving those few seconds that KillerApp. I guess it's maybe like a minute or so. I don't know. I don't count. I don't math very well, but saving that time that KillerApp had to waste running back this way.
Mclagging is about to save and quit and decides, no, I'm just going to walk outside. KillerApp finds his first key. We knew there had to be a key at least in one of these chests. And the second chest has another key. Is Mclagging making the play on Swamp? Mclagging is making... Well, at least he's checking the hint tile. Might not be making the play on Swamp yet, but at least he's checking the... No, he is going into Swamp. We're opening the dam, ladies and gentlemen. And a question that we're getting in chat here, are these runners in top 2? No, this is not... we're not even in the bracket phase of the tournament yet. We're currently in the pools phase, unless you're talking about within their group of 6 players. KillerApp is contending for the second spot. He is tied in terms of wins with Andy right now. He has a 9-3 record. Andy has a 9-2 record. Mclagging is running on a 4-8 record in 4th place, and is pretty much out of the bracket phase. So KillerApp still has a lot on the line in terms of contention in today's race.
The hint tile, unfortunately, just telling us what was in the purple chest, which we already know. And so we're gonna go more into good old Swamp Palace.
And we can only have the one chest we can check here. Is this going to be the hammer? I saw that literally last week. If it's the hammer again. A big key.
Not even an item. How rude.
Well, at least he can go open the big... Oh, wait.
You can shake the key at the big chest and try to open it from afar. That's how that works, right?
Next time, big chest! Next time!
Meow! Oh, there's the cane of Brian that was in the dark.
Yeah, at least we know where that was. There aren't that many chest locations that are actually in the dark, so this was... The 4 in Palace of Darkness were as good a place as any to find it. KillerApp did use the key and didn't do the hammering up here, so he is going through the key logic normally here, and he leaves. We have a call in chat for an Ice Palace hammer now. We will see. KillerApp is going to try to find who is in the back of Eastern Palace. Wants to see if he can get another crystal in his possession. Okay, Mclagging is now heading into Palace of Darkness. He's going to... no, that's Eastern Palace, sorry. And he's going to follow in KillerApp's footsteps to see who is back here. So, Karaoke, are we going to have another Trinex back here? What do you think?
I think, you know, it'd be cool to have another Trinex or something else that they can't beat. Like a, I don't know, what else can he not be? The guy with the hook shot
Well,
again.
we already had an Argus, so Vitreous could be beaten. No, how about just
the
another blind?
That's easy. Although this room is shaped a little bit differently, so the script is kind of broken. I mean, the script for, like, beating him in quick cycles. And this room's a little smaller, too, I think. I was gonna say use the red potion, but Cane of Burna works, too.
Yeah, that actually worked very nicely for damage as well. And the Can of Pop holds up 10 arrows and grabs a crystal. And a very happy-looking Can of Pop.
Yeah, I think it's smiling. You think it's smiling?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, this doesn't. They don't really have too much of an expression. All right, what big play are we gonna do next?
Well, they still can't get to the east side of Death Mountain. That is very, very annoying, having no hookshot or hammer just about an hour into the seeds. So that's going to be a bit of a hindrance for these runners. What else could we find? We still need the flute. We still need the cane of Samaria. We still need potentially a mushroom or powder, depending on what is on the witch and magic bat, respectively. Possibly the shovel for the shovel spot. There's still lots of things out there that we could pick up. The cape for Bumper Cave, in case there's something there. I don't know if that was checked or not. So still lots of things.
Bumper Cave was checked. It's just like money or something.
Okay, they can just get it for the invisibility then, whatever the case may be. We are going to check the tablet, though. Could this be the hookshot or the hammer?
Drumroll noises. Nope.
Nope.
And yeah, can't check Spike Cave yet because no hammer.
This is really limiting what these players can check, not having access to the east side of Death Mountain, and there could be something very useful, obviously, on the east side of Death Mountain. A lot of things, given Turtle Rock is also over there, but they just can't get over there yet. So Mclagging is going to keep working through Palace of Darkness. I think KillerApp actually backed out without checking who the boss was. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, but they couldn't progress because they need hammer.
Oh yes, that's correct. Hammer is also needed. Okay.
Yeah, they had to stop because it's not hammer time.
So there is some discussion about Ice Palace in chat right now. I think that is the next play. I don't see anywhere else that they can go if they haven't already gone. I think they have to go to Ice Palace. And I think KillerApp might be realizing that too, as he seems to be heading in that general direction.
Yeah, but I
And
think he might be doing the Swamp Palace check first, just like Mclagging did earlier.
it's possible he could be. He's at the point that he's running out of locations, and yeah, he probably does not want to go to Ice Palace. He will do this before Ice Palace. So that makes sense as well. But yeah, after this, it's right next door. I would say he pretty much has to go to Ice Palace. There's not much else to check.
And it's gonna be that Bombos Ice Palace, like I mentioned a while ago.
Indeed. It'd be hilarious if Coldstar had the fire rod. You could almost, or what? Actually, you know what? It might not even be Coldstar down there now. I think, but it could be another Trinex. So KillerApp's going to get his useless item here, the big key of usefulness.
Big key of someday usefulness. Just stare at it sadly in your hand. And smart move on the mirroring out. And we're gonna head back to the right.
Yep. We're heading to Ice Palace. absolutely nowhere else he can go. And Mclagging gets his K number in the dark. And KillerApp, meanwhile, lifts the rock, goes to the portal, and says, "Fine, I guess I'll do you now." This would be one. Now, if we do get something very lovely like a Argus or a Trinex down here, that would be a very nasty case of having to double dip the palace. A compass and some arrows on the western wing of Swamp Palace. At least we don't have to do Western Swamp Palace. That's a good hint.
Yeah, it's a hint I was mentioning earlier that, you know, if when the swamp play was looking to be a very, very super likely thing, that if they get a hint saying that, oh, we don't need to do left side swamp. But unfortunately, you know, swamp is mostly locked right now, so at least they know for later. They don't have to go over there. And that, you know...
Meyer and Big... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say something like, you know, flute could have been over there or something silly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and the hammer is here. Well, there's your progress. So I was going to say that Meyer and the Big Bomb from Pyramid Fairy are two other hints that are very useful like that to tell you what the two items are. So those are three of the more useful hints you can find in tiles before you actually get to those locations.
Oh yeah, like the fire lock, shaky cutscene room, and Meyer. That just takes time.
It's being noted that because they got the flippers early, because they had the Titans a bit fairly early, they could have had this hammer a long time ago, and this could have opened up some additional progression a long time ago. So both runners might be feeling a little upset, but like Mclagging just got that. So I'm wondering if both runners at this point feel like they might be behind just finding that right now.
And not only just like a little extra progression, but also preventing double dips.
Mm-hmm.
Man, these cans sure get a lot of frost on them when you're in cold places, huh?
Yes, I don't think KillerApp is having a good time lining up that bomb jump. So, like, usually when you want to do the bomb jump, you want to learn how one sprite works and then stick to that sprite for when you're playing. Because then, especially in tournament races, a unique item is... Where was that? I didn't see that hint if KillerApp checked it. Where was that unique item that Mclagging just read?
Near a water switch.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to say that we found that already. That was a power glove.
It's actually a hint I haven't seen before.
I don't think I've seen it before either. To answer the question of what is a water switch, I believe it's referring to the dam, which would be the thing you pull to release the water in the dam.
Opening the door in the right side of the plus-shaped room, that's something I don't see every day.
And Mclagging checked that hint. I don't think KillerApp checked this hint yet. We just found out where Bombos is. Good to know since both runners already have it.
Yeah, it's good to know that we picked up a real Bombos to check the hint in Ice Palace to tell us that where Bombos is. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a true case of thanks, game.
No, the hints this seed haven't been too good. Like probably the left side Swamp Palace is, yeah. Western left side Swamp Palace hint is probably the best one I've seen so far.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably the best hint I've seen in this thing. And a close second to that is, you were expecting help, weren't you?
Well, yes, I was expecting help, thank you.
And the big chest contains just a key. We may not need all 3 keys here, depending where the items are located. And KillerApp is going to head downstairs, it looks like. And he's going to come up through the upper door, and the way he does this to save, ironically enough, the key, you know, she's just coming right out through the key door, and the door doesn't open, it just stays closed, so he doesn't have to go up and down.
Yeah, you can just squeeze yourself through the keyhole that way. Apparently it's bigger on the other side.
It has special properties. I have no idea how. And that's 2 keys for Mclagging. We're in the iced tea room for KillerApp, who gets a map. Those frozen burritos are always the worst burritos.
Yeah, unless you make them yourself, then they're okay.
KillerApp drops back down the basement. He's going to see if he can get a look at the boss, whatever is in Cold Stairs layer today. What do you want to see in Cold Stairs layer today?
Trinex.
Okay. I knew you were going to say that, but...
Although I know there's some rooms that I think he's one of the bosses that can't be in certain rooms. There's like a list of certain rooms that bosses can. Oh, it's...
How about another blind?
Sure, let's just make it easy. At least the room is a little bigger this time. But I still might have to be safe and either use the potion or Burna. Yeah.
Use that burner. There you go. And
Don't
boss
wanna...
fight.
You don't want to have to go through Ice Palace all over again.
Ooh, look at that lovely item. We got a shovel.
I dig it.
It's digging time. I have a feeling that because they found the hammer in here, I have a feeling they're going to be looking for all the progression with the hammer first. We'll see if either of them takes the time to go to the shovel spot, knowing there's only one item there. Stumpy's already been checked. And KillerApp isn't too far away. Maybe he will do that. Nope, he's going to the other side.
Gonna finish off Pod, I presume, now. Or try to, at least.
That would be a logical play, but he realized he needs the portal, so he's... Oh no, he missed the correct entrance. So yeah, he's gonna probably go to the portal here and go into Pod. And the question about Ice Palace from someone in chat, yes, the hammer was in the very first chest of Ice Palace. That was where it was located. Now, what would be interesting and almost silly at this point is if they end up having to go back in the swamp for the hook shot. This is now KillerApp's 3rd trip to the Palace of Darkness area. Mclagging has also made 2 trips over here.
Mclagging is going to dig up that shovel item.
And also, something else to keep in mind here, and I see this being discussed too, is that Death Mountain is now open. They don't have the hook shot, but they do have the hammer. That means they could go to Tower of Hera and use the hammer, flatten the hammer pegs over there to get to the other side of Death Mountain and access the portals over there with the Titans Myth. That also opens up Turtle Rock, even though they can't really go in yet.
You just basically narrated what Mclagging is doing.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Are you looking into the future or something?
I've been called a witch before.
Okay. Just checking.
He is checking the Ether Medallion first, however. KillerApp is in the basement of House of Darkness. This would be a very bad situation if he has to come back again. Wouldn't you love to see him come back again, chat? And good thing we're not going in a Tower of Hera. That dead rock said no entry. Okay, who is in the boss chamber? As people in chat are saying, yes, we want him to come back. Will he have to come back? No, he can take out the Vitreous Eyes. The Ben Stein boss, as some of us like to call it.
Yeah, especially in this form, because, ugh, man.
Yeah, that's, those eyes need to be cleared. Wow. And there's the green pendant, so at least we have our inter-vanilla green pendant, I guess we can call it. And I have a feeling he may opt to give that to Sahasrara. I don't think we've seen a hint for Sahasrara yet. So that could be worth giving over to him very, very shortly.
And especially because we're right here.
Exactly. And what does the old man giveth? He gives $20.
No, we found Hookshot somewhere.
Oh, was it in Paradox Cave?
Somewhere up on the mountain there. Our eyes were on the eyes, watching for that prize, that we missed our tickle beam. Oh,
we do have a gold sword up here, though. Some butter. It looks like, oh, it was the Spiral Cave that was located. No wonder I missed it.
Oh yeah, Spiral Cave, that's a place. They just ran right through it. It went by so fast.
Yeah, the boots. We didn't really have a chance to catch them there today.
Yeah, so with Butter Sword and Silvers, once we do get to Ganon, he's gonna be no problem.
Yeah, that's gonna be a piece of cake now. Cake.
Didn't get the block glitch with the hookshot there, so I had to go the long way around.
So KillerApp is, based on what Chad is telling us, is about to get his hookshot here, and let's see it with our own eyes to confirm that here, as we also see Super Bunny Cave. Mclagging is picking up a piece of heart, and the shield, the Fisher-Price shield, KillerApp does get his hookshot. And they're probably both rolling their eyes at the fact that the hookshot is to the east of where you need the hookshot. Ganon really knows how to make things difficult today.
Yeah, but at the same time it's handy, because, you know, you're up here. It's not like you're all the way down in, you know, Agina or something. Ooh, Fire Rod.
Hey, Fire Rod!
Something silly like that, where you're all the way down, and then like, I had to go all the way up the mountain to check all the hookshotty places.
So, you remember all those Tridecks we've been finding?
They're not going to be trying for very much longer now, so...
Yeah, they're just going to be necks, pretty much. Dead necks.
Yeah, dead necks.
Interestingly enough, neither runner does a spike cave check. That could be a very nasty place to find the King of Samaria later. Or the flute.
No, there was a hint that told us a spike cave is just money, so...
Oh, I seem to have forgotten that. Okay.
Chat is pulling overtime today. We'll have to give him a couple extra rupees.
Yeah, throw a few green rupees in there, see who wants them. You get a rupee. You get a rupee.
Maybe that was Mimic Cave. I know we had a hint about Mimic Cave.
Yeah, Mimic Cave I know has nothing of value in it, so I'm fairly sure about that one. I just don't recall. And Mclagging gets his hook shot out. So, yeah, I know Mimic Cave had something useless. I'm not sure if we actually saw Spike Cave in it.
There was a cave up there. It has rupees. It's useless, so maybe Spike Cave could still have something cool. Oh, look, it's like the jellyfish-colored Argus.
Yeah, Argus is a lovely shade of blue today, royal blue. So we're gonna get some royal jelly out of this Argus. Is it? Oh, I thought it was frozen for a minute.
He just got very confused.
Wait, how do I have nothing left on me? I'm just gonna stare at you for a while. Okay. 10 arrows off of Argus.
Maybe he's blue because he's so cold, because all of his popcorns are gone.
Perhaps. And speaking of those popcorns, they actually do have a name. They're called Argai. Kind of an interesting name for the little things covering Argus. It's like the pirate theme.
I mean, you know, it said that this game is all about eyes, so... Alright, doing some smashy hammer pegs here.
What is in hammer pegs today? Mclagging goes in and finds the King of Samaria!
Go back,
and says no thank you! Says no thank you!
Nope, I don't need that. Oh, wait.
and here's our Spike Cave check from KillerApp. If the flute is back here, this would be kind of humorous.
That half a heart left. Just stopping my heart.
Oh, that's another bottle.
Alright, now with our toasty rod, we can also go to the back end of Skull Woods and see what boss is hanging out there.
KillerApp heading back towards Village of Outcasts as Mclagging is taking his fire rod back to Mothula. KillerApp is not quite going to Mothula yet, interestingly enough. It is in the area, so he may be checking something else while he's here. He's going to Thieves Town first, I think.
Just double checking, I think, I don't know if just double checking what's on the map, what's left, but yeah, gonna finish off Thieves Town with that hook shot.
Yeah. He can finish off the, I think it was another Argus back there, if I'm not mistaken, and he can also check the hammer chest while he's here.
Yeah, that was just the Argus. We've only found one Argus so far.
Ah, okay.
So basically, I think KillerApp is basically just following what Mclagging was doing, and there's another blind.
What's with the number of blinds in the seed today? Is this a blind seed? Like... There's no way this is a blind run.
It's Blind's run. I think they own it.
Pretty much.
Still pretty easy, even with the moving floor and the spikes on the walls.
And we just get his lunch as a reward. And we have sync items being held up, just the one's a pendant, the other's a crystal. So normally I would say how many crystals someone has at this point, but since we're looking at dungeons, that is the 5th dungeon for each of these runners. And going to move on to their next task. KillerApp is going to find his Cane of Samaria down here. He will be very overjoyed by that, I am sure. He's probably going to show you how overjoyed he is to find the Cane of Samaria down here as soon as he gets in there. He doesn't leave like his foe did. And we're getting Swamp Palace, I think, back in play here. Going to Swamp Palace, Mclagging is. And KillerApp's heading back to Skull Woods. He's going to find yet another blind, much like ones he's previously fought, hiding in there. We already have calls in chat for something very, very evil, and I always love seeing what chat cooks up that we don't necessarily say immediately on the air, but I want to say this one, flute in GT.
Oh yeah, because you can get in, you just need the 7 crystals to get into Ganon's tower. You don't need, like, the pendants too. This is all dungeons. It just means that to defeat Ganon, you need all that stuff done beforehand. But stuff can be in Ganon's tower that you need. I've seen, like, flippers in there and Swamp be a pendant, for example.
Yep, that's exactly correct. And I've seen it especially in Key Sandy, where the big key for one of the pendant dungeons is in Ganon's tower as well. So there's always that possibility that something could be in there. So Mclagging delves further into Swamp. He will finally get to open that big chest if he chooses to open that big chest. Will he open that big chest? Well, not yet. Since we know the western wing of Swamp Pass is useless, he's going to do this circle and then probably just head straight back. He should open that chest on the way. There's our upgraded shield, the fire shield. At least we'll be able to repel some fireballs now. And there's 50 bucks in that chest that we couldn't open earlier because we couldn't get in with the big key.
Good old burn a strats for blind again.
Well, if it worked before, do it again. KillerApp gets his 6th dungeon cleared today. And the drain is draining water. Glug, 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 glug. And 2 items in the drain room today. They are a piece of heart and arrows.
That's not a flute.
Who needs a flute?
That's not a flute either. Or a mushroom,
Nope.
or a powder, or, you know, something that might lead to a flute.
I always hate the bugs in this room at my leggings, and they always seem to get me.
Yeah, I've never not been hit by those bugs.
Ooh, that's a very putrid shade of vitreous eye today.
I call that pink eye. That's like beyond clear eyes.
There's no help for that one at all. My goodness. Just put it out of its misery.
And it's been done. Just holding a burrito.
And a quick shout out to Escala for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for that.
So I think we're gonna pop back over to Desert now and beat that boss up. That Sandy Trinex hanging out back there. And then after that it'll be back up the mountain to Turtle Rock, and hopefully Turtle Rock has the flute in it. And if it doesn't, then I guess we're gonna be going to the tower and playing around in there.
It would be fun to play in the tower. So Mclagging has to take the long way around here because not having the flute, he can't flute to the back door directly. So he has to take this long, winding road to get into here like normal. I find it interesting that Mclagging has not done Palace of Darkness yet, and KillerApp obviously is Swamp Palace right now. So even though they are tied in dungeons, there is some difference in which dungeons have been done. Mclagging will have to go back to get Palace of Darkness, which he can fully clear, by the way. I expect he will do that soon before going any further. Time to take out the sand next. Ooh, the central head didn't even try to take a bite. That is a very, very quick Trinex opening. And a very, very fast kill.
Yeah, I was gonna say quick opening and ending.
And 20 bucks. So we are running out of places for that flute to be. Unless it is in Turtle Rock, which we can get into. We can do it, and it is needed for Ganon's Tower. So unless it's in there, that flute could be in Ganon's Tower or behind a fetch quest in Ganon's Tower. I'm gonna start a little game here, just a little fun little thing on the side here. Where do you think that flute will be located, chat? Go ahead and put some guesses in chat on that.
I'm liking these guesses.
Yeah, Big Chest is actually a good guess. I like that one. Top left rando room, Moldorm 2's chest. Please, please, Moldorm 2's chest. But I personally prefer an off-fetch quest.
Well, then see, you put like the you know, mushroom or powder at Moldorm 2's chest, and either Magic Bat or Witch has the other one, and then the last thing has the flute. That's how you do it.
Yep, that would be very, very painful. So the question is whether the seed is going to be lenient after sending them all over the place looking for fire rods and ice rods to kill 2 Trinex they've already seen and have to double dip places. Will this seed take leniency on them? As Mclagging and KillerApp are currently tracing steps that each other has already done, I want to take a moment to say, follow these runners. They're doing their best to put on a good race for you today. And they're doing a pretty good job, I would say. So this looks like it's going to be a really good race down to the wire. And they definitely deserve your support, not only with this race, but afterwards.
Yeah, because remember, this is only group stage. Depending on what happens with, you know, who moves on and whatnot. I think we said that KillerApp has a possibility to move on, depending.
He does.
So, you know, he might move on. You get to watch him play more, and that's fun. And of course, I think these players, a lot of them also join in the dailies or weekly races that the community as a whole has. And, you know, we're probably always going to have more tournaments in the future, too, so.
And I know KillerApp is a commentator as well. My biggest memory of KillerApp is on a seed where Boots was on in GT and the big key was on the torch, and I think he almost choked.
At least they found silver arrows pretty early, so all these Vitri eyes are, what do you call it? These vitreouses, they're not bad. It's not a lot of work to get rid of them all.
Yeah, it makes it easy. Just go in, fire a few arrows, and you're done. And there was a question if this is a doubleheader. This is actually race 3 of the series for these 2 runners, so this is not a doubleheader. This is just one race.
So Mclagging making that pit stop at Sharshala place. Nope.
So now, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying he's doing that Sharshala thing and being disappointed that KillerApp had done earlier, so I think they're now both heading up to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, this is exactly tied. Mclagging is only a few seconds ahead right now. Otherwise, this is exactly tied. They're both heading up to Turtle Rock. They both have everything done that the other runner has already done. They just have Misery Mire, Turtle Rock, and both Aghanim fights to go. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Mclagging is climbing in the cave right now. KillerApp is going in, following behind. Get the mini Moldrums out of the way. Head outside.
Nope, not running the big key game yet. We're going to Turtle Rock. Gotta do that first.
Yeah, not yet. No big key game yet.
Yeah, we're just being hyped because of this dungeon. You got a lot of chests in here. We know that Mimic Cave just has, I think, money in it or something useless, so we're not going to be checking that. But, you know, the rest of Turtle Rock has a lot of stuff.
And I was going to say, we don't care what the medallion is here. It is Quake, but we don't really care because we have all 3 medallions anyway. It just tells us what we have to select in the menu to go inside. So almost St. Turtle Rock openings. This is going to be very close. It's going to come down to execution. And if someone skips Lava Chest, and the bow is with a heart. Okay.
Thanks, game.
Oh, a hermit.
I mean, I guess if you decided to dip TR early, or was Samaria or anything like that bow locked? I don't remember now.
Samaria was, I'm just thinking where it was. It was some more recently found.
It was hammer pegs.
It was hammer pegs. That would not have required the bow.
Yeah, because hammer was an ice palace. Okay, yeah. So
the hammer was an ice palace. Yeah, it's not bow locked.
Yeah, that hint could have helped if someone did the early risky TR gamble or something.
Mclagging misses with the grab with the hook shot, so loses a couple seconds there. But is fair distance ahead of KillerApp now. KillerApp lost a few seconds on Mclagging here. We are finding the bombs and a key. So we have 2 keys for Turtle Rock now. Unfortunately, this is not going to be a God mode Turtle Rock because you have to basically open every chest looking for that flute until we find the flute. At which point they're pretty much going to be in go mode. What do you think about flute on Lava Island?
Toasty?
Yeah, I guess it would be. And we have a big key with the Chompies today. So, Mclagging heads downstairs and the search for the flute continues. And KillerApp heads downstairs and his search for the flute continues. Mclagging enters the tube. KillerApp will not be far behind. Takes the longer path around the central area. That's interesting. There was a question in chat earlier. I want to address that very quickly as well. I saw it and I didn't respond to it. The question was if a tie could affect the chances of advancement. A tie actually would give each runner half of a point. They have to finish within 2 seconds of each other. I can actually say I called the tie a few days ago that actually was one such case. The runners would just get 0.5 on the record, not a full 1 point. They wouldn't go with no points. It would just be a single half point. And that could affect KillerApp's chances. Mclagging already will not make the brackets, but it could affect KillerApp's chances because that's half a point he will not have on Andy. And Andy and him have the same number of wins right now. And Mclagging correctly skips the Mimic Cave. We know that there's just money in there, so not worth checking today. Key in the big chest. KillerApp, will he... Oh, KillerApp. Oh, I thought he was going to the mirror, but no, he went to the hook shot. Scared me for a second there. My heart skipped a beat for a second there.
We're in the other side back.
There's a piece of heart.
Yeah, we're healthy.
Mclagging pulls on the chest saying, come on. Okay, we only have 4 more chests in Turtle Rock. Will we find... Well, actually, 5 if you count Trinex. We don't know if he has an item yet, or whatever the boss is. But we have 4 chests back here on Laser Bridge. Will the flute be on Laser Bridge, or will we have to possibly go into Ganon's Tower to find it? We may find out right now. The first chest is a burrito.
Nope.
Burrito.
Nope.
$5.
Nope.
We need, and it has to be a key. The last one is a key. So either the boss has it, or it's in Ganon's Tower. Oh my.
Oh my. I wasn't counting actual items, so did we get a compass or anything yet?
I think they found the compass. I'm trying to get a look at the menu. We should see it on Mclagging's side shortly as he starts the Helmastar King fight.
No.
He does not have a compass. The compass is here. Unless they skipped that on, but I think both checked it. So yeah, this is a compass. It has to be in Ganon's Tower. The flute is in Ganon's Tower. Or the fetch quest leading to the flute is in Ganon's Tower. So, yeah. Let's find the compass from the Helmastar King here, and we will be off to Ganon's Tower. And I already had everyone put some guesses in for the flute, but now it's time for the official Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. Get your guesses in chat, 1 to 22, where that big key is located, and we're gonna see if we can at least find the big key and go upstairs. But they're gonna be opening all the chests looking for that flute until they find it. So what I'll do for us, karaoke. Where do you think the big key is, and where do you think the flute is?
I mean, I always pick 18, so I'm just gonna put 18 for one, and the other one, let's just say, like, tile room.
Ooh, I like the tile room. I always say 11 because, well, always. But that's for the big key. I'm going to put a 0 on flute and just say it's on a fetch quest.
So then where do you think the fetch quest item is?
It's either got to be the shovel. The shovel is not checked yet, I don't think.
No, they checked it. It was bombs.
Oh, it was bombs? Okay. I'm going to say it's on Magic Batman.
No, what do you call it? Key on that side.
Flute? Flute or key?
Or flute.
What's on the torch? It's the regular key. Ooh, got excited for a second.
That's 3.
And they couldn't make the right side play because they did not have a small key. So let's see if we see some Dark Magician strats here. That would be interesting play here if that happens. Or if we go to random room and then mirror back and check the right side. There is a magnetic circle. There's the flute.
Flute.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at 1 hour, 40 minutes,
Mushroom.
and 13 seconds. Mclagging is in go mode. KillerApp will not be far behind. And we also found the mushroom, not that we need that.
Yeah, if you guessed chest number 5 for the flute, you win some good feels.
If you guessed 8 for the half magic, congratulations.
However, we are still looking for that big key.
And also thank you to Marith for the 100-bit donation there. Speed Gaming does appreciate that. And there is the spices. Ooh, the fetch quests are all coming up, but man, I wish the flute was on one of those.
I lost count of the chests again.
9. That's 9.
No? I was asking for the chest number.
We're on 10 to 13 right now.
That was a German
So there's
joke.
the heart. There is a burrito. There is a big 20. There is the big key. So I'm going to say he opened them in the wrong order. That's basically the way I put that. But it is a random room where I usually expect it to be. And it was on, in this case, location number 13 today. If you guessed 13, congratulations. You win a 25% off coupon of the Chorro Rock Hot Springs, guaranteed to burn you alive. Please enjoy. And jokes aside, Lake Gordon, congratulations. You also win a spot on the leaderboard, which we'll say right now.
So just so we don't have to do all this again later, gonna climb up the rest of the way to Ganon's Tower and beat Aghanim 2, and then pop on over to Misery Mire, and hopefully we get the God Mire, and get that, you know, what do you call that thing?
Now, why couldn't KillerApp enter Ganon's Tower first? He opened it at number 11.
But yeah, get the thing to beat Mire quickly, the big key or whatever, and do everything quickly. So going through the gauntlet, it's gonna be relatively easy with all this loadout that the players have. You know, what's that? 15 hearts and blue mail and a gold sword and every medallion and silver arrows.
Yeah, he's well equipped for this fight with Ganon when we get there. Of course, we can't do the fight with Ganon yet because we couldn't get to Misery Mire without getting the flute, which was here in Ganon's Tower, so we still have to make a detour before we can actually go to the Big Pig today. Ooh, Armos Knight's on sand.
What? Armos Knights on sand.
I swear I saw them. They were just there a second ago. I swear
Are
I
you
saw
sure?
them.
Are you sure?
I'm fairly sure. I don't think my eyes deceived me.
So yeah, that's a very easy fight in that smaller room and silver arrows and everything.
Ooh, missed the shot with KSMR. He has to stop and do that again. Gonna cost him a couple seconds there, not too much time. KillerApp is following behind in the gauntlet. Lost some time in Ganon's Tower, it looks like, so is going to have to book it and catch up a little bit here.
Yeah, and getting a little beat up there. Alright, not taking the ferry break.
Keep in mind, KillerApp is the runner who is still contending for a spot in the brackets. He is currently tied at 9 wins with Andy, who is also playing tonight. So if KillerApp does not win tonight's race, this will really hurt his chances at the brackets, especially if Andy were to win his race later. So we are definitely going to be keeping an eye on that result later as well.
You can't use mushrooms on anti-fairies, unfortunately. I had to switch to the powder. It's a very cramped Helmasaur here in Moldorm 2's lair. To be really careful here because of the knockback that the hammer smashes give. Don't want to smash him too close to the edge there and fall off, have to start all over again.
Yeah, this is a very, very difficult boss fight for this arena because if you fall off, that's all that hammer damage. At least it's not a consumable item, but all that hammer damage does go away and you have to start over, and that would be very, very painful for either runner. KillerApp is going to find out about helmet stocking very shortly. Mclagging is going to skip the final chest. He doesn't need anything else. What else could he possibly need?
The cape?
Other than a cape. That could be useful, but yeah. And we are entering the triangle fight, and Ganon splits up and forms
Triangle Man, Triangle Man.
the triangle. A very, very obtuse triangle today, as he now reforms and is a straight line. And one ball seemed to fizzle and didn't come into existence, unfortunately, for Mclagging, so that's going to lose some time.
Yeah, still, pretty good fight there.
Still pretty good result, yep.
KillerApp is using bombs on Helmasaur for some reason.
This is a possible solution. 3 bombs will crack the mask, and they have to literally be in the right place when they explode in order to do that. And there's the 3rd one right now.
That was
oh, he almost fell off. Oh my! But he did stay on. He did survive, and Mclagging warps to the pyramid, and it is not time for the big pig. As I stated earlier, we have to go take care of a miserable place first. Oh, he's going to take out Agadam's tower while he's here, interestingly enough. I would have thought he might have waited to do this last, do Misery Mire, and then save and quit, go to the Dark World pyramid point, and then go to Agadam's tower where he is now. But he decided to get this out of the way first. I'm very curious why he did this. And you might be wondering why Mclagging is checking the chest. We know that the 2 chests at Agadam's tower have to be keys, except in Key Sandy, which this is not. So the 2 chests have to be keys, and they are needed to get through the dungeon. That's why he's checking those chests. Similarly, we're going to get to Misery Mire. We're going to have to find the big key to get to whoever is in the back of Misery Mire, plus possibly a small key to open a door somewhere if we need to for key progression.
Yeah, I think it evens out either way. I mean, you save and quit after once you beat Agadam 2, and you save and is that when you can save and quit and then you can start back over at the pyramid, or no? That's if you I don't know, but KillerApp's doing it too, so it must be a good idea.
I was thinking in vanilla, you have to do Agadam's tower with 6 hearts, a master sword, and none of this extra equipment. So I would have thought this is a very easy tower to clear, and I really would have thought they would have come back and done this second. So they're making liars out of me. I'm surprised by this. So they are now exactly 3 floors apart as they come up the various stairways. Mclagging enters the 7th floor. And as where Agadam is, and ladies and gentlemen, get your blue ball guesses in chat. How many blue balls is Agadam going to fire today? I always say 3. What do you say, Karaoke?
Yeah, I'm going to say 4.
Ah. Both are very good average guesses here. So get your guesses in chat, everyone. We already have a 0. That's a very optimistic view. We already have a 79. I don't know where you came up with that math.
You just want the race to never end.
So to explain the Agadam fight, we have to have 1 guaranteed orb at the start of the phase, 3 50-50 chances for either an orb or a blue ball, which that was 1 blue ball. And after 3 such shots, which we now have 3 hits on Agadam, he goes into a lightning crescendo, where he fires various bolts of lightning at a screen as you stand above him, and he basically doesn't realize that you know how to dodge his most useless attack. So that's now 4 hits for Mclagging. That's another blue ball. 2 blue balls. And that is a 5th hit. And will we be winner? Will I be a winner or will I be a loser today? I'm a loser. We have 2 as the correct number of blue balls.
Alright, and now we're gonna go finally activate our flute. Get our friend the duck to take us to Misery Mire.
At 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 45 seconds, Mclagging is off to activate his Tutti Flutie. And all things considered, this is a really good time for a seed where they did not have convenient access to travel throughout this game.
Yeah. These all dungeon seeds seem to be getting faster and faster as everything goes on.
Absolutely correct. I think the fact that we're seeing so much all dungeons played is causing more runners to just get better at playing a logic style related to thinking about having to do every dungeon, knowing that you're going to have to do every single dungeon anyway. So I think players are getting better at doing that because they have to do it a lot of the time. A lot of the top runners in the pools have been choosing all dungeons because they want to make a technical race, not one based on luck. And the luck is in making a pendant dive where another runner didn't, and therefore loses a lot of time.
Gonna fry some pterodactyl here as we open up Misery Mire.
Yep, that was a Bombos Misery Mire and fried murderdactyl. Best kind of murderdactyl. And KillerApp is off to activate his Swag Duck Travel. And Mclagging is off to the first chest in the back on the bridge that has an actual ending.
Is it going to be the good chest?
Will we have a God Mire, ladies and gentlemen? We have no small key. Will we find the second chest? Will we have a big key? We have... No, a bottle! That's our second... Is that only his second bottle? Really? Wow. And we know that KillerApp has 2, so that would be KillerApp's 3rd bottle when he finds it. We know that one is at the Lumberjack Ledge, so that accounts for all 4 bottles today.
Yeah, because KillerApp did Spike Cave, and Mclagging didn't, and I think there's a bottle in there.
Spike Cave, right. Okay.
It had a fairy in a bottle, and this one has a bee.
Okay. Will this be a big key? This is a big key! We're off to the boss.
Alright, who's gonna be the boss? Who's gonna be?
Who have we not seen yet? We have not seen Land Moles. Let's put Land Moles in there. A little bit of more interdimensional vanilla.
Some Floramolas.
We've already seen 2... Actually, no, Cold Stare. We haven't seen Cold Stare yet. Yeah, this seed had 2 Triadex, 2... No, only the 1 Argus, 3 Blind, a couple Helmus Arcanes, 1 in Gan's Tower, Armos Knights on Sand. And 1 more mystery boss up here, who I'm kind of hoping to be a Cold Stare. I want to see how that plays in here. Another blind is everywhere today. I don't know how that's possible since he can't see, but he seems to be everywhere today.
No, see, that's the thing. He can't see, so he got lost trying to find his way home, because, you know, he wasn't in his own dungeon, so he just kept popping up in all these other dungeons.
As being noted how bad this blind fight is, this is correct because the goo still hurts you in the back of the area, so you have to be very careful doing the fight. Try and wait for me to come to the lower area to play. There's your cape, ladies and gentlemen. We have a full item collection on our trackers today. Oh my goodness.
And Mclagging ran out of magic, so couldn't just hang out back there the whole time.
Unfortunately. So this was pretty much a 100% seed, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that tracker today. We know where the other two bottles are. Mclagging just didn't get them. Other than that, 100% tracker.
No, the cape that dropped from the boss there. I had my glasses off and I couldn't see.
It did. And Mclagging gets to start a day with a nutritious breakfast from his incredible insides.
I think there are so many blinds that even I'm becoming blind.
I counted 4. Of course, I may be blind to the fact that there may be another blind somewhere. Mclagging in a very quick phase 3. That's really well done.
Yeah, we didn't see Ice Armo, so there could have been a blind down there too.
There could have been.
Yeah, Butter Sword makes those first 2 phases just very quick, and Ganon's teleports are being very nice in 3rd phase. And
it's
yeah, we found
that we could have
errors.
also had Tridex on ice as well. That could have been down there. The Pinky could have been back there. And Mclagging is currentently cooking the bacon. And the bacon has been cooked. Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat for Mclagging, who, barring any problems with a 3x1 bridge, should be the first rider to finish today. And there it is. Mclagging finishes with an official SRL time of exactly what you see. 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 42 seconds. And the Triforce wants him to be his friend. How nice.
Yeah, just go give it a hug. There we go.
Ah, nice friendly Triforce. And we'll see if we can get Mclagging in here to chat about that. KillerApp looks like he's going to finish. He's kind of almost done. Might as well just finish it up here. And is currently on his way to the... I guess he picked up the big key when I wasn't watching. So he's on his way to the boss right now, it looks like. And we are joined by Mclagging. GG to you. Congratulations on the win.
Hey, thank you.
So, walk us through your thoughts about that seed.
For the longest time, just walking around without a hammer, double, triple dipping some dungeons, like, well, this is a whole lot of fun. Then finally finding the hammer, then feeling super behind because the hammer locked pretty much everything.
Yeah, everything seemed to be behind that hammer today. There were 2 Trinex that were locked by, obviously, the Fire Rod and the Ice Rod. I don't remember where those were anymore. It's been a while since we found them. But the hammer being an Ice Palace, it was literally the last place left to check. Both of you waited until everything else was done before you went to Ice Palace, and that could have been found super early.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was going to go to Ice until I found the bow and Agina's cave. I was like, well, might as well go back, because Eastern still had an item, and then I could clear out all of Pod except for the boss. Then, of course, still no hammer.
And as we have KillerApp fighting blind in the goo room right now, the Vitreous goo room.
Yeah.
And that's a very
Taking it safe.
Yeah, that's a very interesting blind fight as well, because obviously you can't walk in the goo on that side of the room. So you were using the magic back there, and you had to get out of there before you died.
Yeah, I realized it a little late. Then I got really low on health. I was like, well, this is the worst blind of the 20 blinds we fought today.
Yeah, this was the blind seed, needless to say.
Got a lot of good practice on blind today, yep.
Now, if you don't know how to do a blind fight, this is a good seed to practice with. As we're going through your crowds right now, obviously we see the swordsmiths there. I didn't catch what the witch had today. Did we see what the witch item was on the credits?
No, because we got the mushroom in Ganon's tower, and of course he didn't check it.
Yeah, the credits will show what it is, though. I didn't catch it, though. And KillerApp does drop into his blind fight as well, getting his own whole grain breakfast of insides. And is wailing away with the butter sword on Ganon, rather. KillerApp wailing away on Ganon.
He's beating himself. The true mastermind was KillerApp all along. Gotta be careful here. I think he still has a red potion, at least, if he gets a little,
Oh, he took a death.
Has a fairy. I like the crushed can. I actually used to have one of those wall-mounted can crushers in an old house I lived in. Got to see those poor little guys a lot.
But I did find interesting also, Mclagging, how you both had to triple dip Palace of Darkness just because of the way that you both, like, you seem to be following behind each other quite a lot today. KillerApp, at one point, actually, when you guys were diverging on your dungeons for a little while, eventually you both cleared your 8th dungeon, and it got to the point that he was literally 3 seconds behind you. Just the way that everything merged up, you ended up going to Turtle Rock together about 3-4 seconds apart. So that turned into quite an exciting race for a moment there.
Yeah, I was watching the restream. They look pretty close. Luckily, we both got pretty messed up by that hammer placement, but we were both able to keep going together there for a while.
Mm-hmm. And KillerApp does also officially finish Ganon just now, and should be crossing the tape in just a second. And as he goes and meets his new friend, he gets an official SRL time, 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 28 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for KillerApp, and he will probably be joining us as well in just a moment.
That was a bit of a clinch fight there. Almost a couple falls off the edge just because of some missed arrows, and I was like, yeah, other weird noises like that.
Okay, I just got a message from KillerApp as well. I noticed he is declining the post-race interview. He has to go to work, apparently. Probably already gone and on his way right now, actually. So a good game to KillerApp. And we definitely did enjoy that race. It was a really good race by both runners here. Did you have any questions you want to ask, by the way, Karaoke?
No, I mean, honestly, for how many times you had to, like, double and triple dip stuff, I mean, that still kind of felt like a linear seed. There wasn't too much deviation in routes. I think there's, like, one dungeon that, between Mclagging and KillerApp that, y'all switched placement of, I think.
Yeah, so, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Palace of Darkness that Mclagging did 8th. I think KillerApp did. What was the one he did 8th? He did Palace of Darkness a lot earlier, and everything else was otherwise in order. It was just Palace of Darkness that one of you did super early. I think it was Mclagging that did it later. KillerApp did it first.
Yeah, otherwise, like checks like, I think there's someone did Skull Woods a little bit earlier. Just they kind of switched places, or like checking Thieves Town earlier, just little things like that. But overall, I mean, 2 hours, just around 2 hours for all dungeons boss Randomizer. That's pretty good, pretty darn good. Good job.
So I know, just gonna make a quick update on the records here. That does put KillerApp at a 9-4 with the loss, and Mclagging at a 5-7. Now, obviously, based on the records, anyone able to do the math can see that Mclagging won't make the brackets. But you do have a couple races left, and just curious, Mclagging, what you're thinking. I think I might have said it wrong. 5-8. I think I said 5-7. So 5-8. I'm just wondering how you feel about this tournament, how you're enjoying the tournament so far.
This has been a really interesting tournament. The different modes and all that have been a fun change. That way you're just not grinding the same mode over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But been able to go through. I've been able to get a win against all my opponents except for Andy, which not a big surprise. But
Do you still have any races against Andy?
yep, we did our last one last night, and that one was a doozy.
And he does have a couple losses as well. Right now, Wayne is actually leading the group, and Andy still has, and I think 2 of his races are tonight, so those are going to be cleared tonight, but there's still 4 more races he can still take first place in the group. Being number 4 seed, I don't think it would surprise anyone if he does that, but nonetheless, Wayne is currently leading the pack and could even take the group. So Wayne is also an exceptional runner, so that wouldn't surprise me either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think tomorrow KillerApp is racing. He has 2 races, and they're against Wayne and Andy. So whatever happens tomorrow will decide our group.
Yeah, those races tomorrow, and I don't know which ones of those are being aired yet on Speed Gaming or even on the ALTTP Randomizer. And by the way, while I'm just noting that, follow the Speed Gaming channels, both Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 5. And those 11 channels will give pretty much all the Zelda and Link to the Past that you could ask for. And I'll cover more information on races that are coming up soon, but including in other tournaments as well. But I just want to say again, actually, before we wrap that up, do you have any final thoughts regarding this almost 100% seed today?
Considering we got sub 2 and all the doubles and triple dips, that's pretty good in my book. But just want to say thank you guys for commentary and restream and tracking. This was a fun seed, at least.
Yep, it was a very, in some ways, linear seed, in some ways, just a very interesting seed to watch with the boss order as well. 2 Trinex, we had 5 million blind. Blind who didn't know where he lived, apparently. And yeah, it just made for interesting routing to see what bosses. Like, this is the fun thing about a boss shuffle, where you have to see a certain boss somewhere, you're like, nope, can't do that. But you had the mirror early, so you could just quickly get out of there and maintain where you were without having to worry. It made it a lot easier to go through the seed quickly. So anyway, let's take a look at what is coming up on not only in the tournament, but on Speed Gaming very soon as well. We are looking at, in terms of other races today, we do see nothing else scheduled. Actually, there is one more race coming up today that I do see. Speed Gaming 5 will have Zyrak versus Leslie Pro 04, and that is going to be defeat Ganon, open Uncle Assured, so he will have a sword, but it's going to be hard difficulty. And it looks like it's also going to be a key Sandy. So that will be on Speed Gaming 5. Go check that out later. That's going to be in about an hour and 20 minutes or so. And looking at races that are coming up even later, we have 11:30 p.m. We have a race on Speed Gaming main channel. That is JP. It's listed as Bruce Fan JP. And Sabotender. Sabotender is one of our tournament administrators. And that is going to take place on the main channel once again at 11:30 p.m. And overnight, we're going to have, right after that, I guess you could say, Perdwong versus Jello Ninja at 2:30 a.m. on the main channel. And coincidentally, Sabotender will be one of the commentators for that race as well. So he has a long evening coming up for him as well. So stay tuned for those 2 races on the main channel later. I'm going to move to some items that are coming up on the Speed Gaming family of channels aside from those. Taking a look at other events that are on this evening very, very quickly. And by the way, you can also get all this information by typing schedule in chat or speedgaming.org/schedule. We'll give it to you as well on the direct website. There's a Zelda 1 randomizer race coming up on Speed Gaming 2, Zelda 2 randomizer weekly race coming up on Speed Gaming 4, and there's a Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer race. This one is between Maniacal and Elminster, both very, very good runners in the combo randomizer. That should be a treat to watch. So if you like seeing the combo randomizer, go check that out at 10:30. We also have the really, really long-a-thon going on right now. I believe right now the game being played is Nier Automata, or Automata, however you want to say it.
Auto Tomato.
Auto Tomato, yes. That's on Speed Gaming 3 as part of the really, really long-a-thon. They're about some 80 hours into that right now, or in that range somewhere. And speaking of the really, really long-a-thon, that, I'm just scanning ahead here, It is going through at least Saturday. I'm trying to get an ending time for it.
It's really, really long and a marathon.
It is really, really long, yes. I'm up to Wednesday, December 12th, and I still haven't gotten to the end of it. That's on for a while, so you can check that out on Speedgaming3 for a long-a-thon time. And looking at a couple things that are on tomorrow as well, we do see on tomorrow there's a Super Mario 64. I think I'm not sure if that's a tournament or that's on the German Super Mario 64 tournament. That's going on. We do have more of the Super Mario World qualifiers. That's for the No Star World tournament, and we do have more combo randomizer. We do have the Messenger. We do have Metroid Zero Mission. All this is on the schedule. Go check it out. With that said, I think this is a good place to wrap. So, with that said, Karaoke, any last words from you?
No. Keep watching Speed Gaming and play video games and have fun.
What she said. Yes, that's a good place to wrap, I think. Let's go ahead and call it. I want to wish everyone in Speed Gaming a wonderful evening. Thank you again, Mclagging and KillerApp for the great race. Good game, good race. And we look forward to seeing how the rest of your races shape out. Everyone in chat, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Until next time, may all your rando be good rando, and I'm going to give you the final word, Karaoke. Good night.
Yeah, everybody have a good night, and stay warm.